Bob Gibson didn't just win games, he controlled them. Every time he stepped onto the mound, hitters knew they were in for one of the toughest challenges of their careers. His fastball exploded through the strike zone. His slider broke sharply at the last moment, and his fearless attitude made him one of the most intimidating pitchers in baseball. In 1964, Bob led the St. Louis Cardinals to a dramatic World Series championship. His unforgettable performances earned him the World Series Most Valuable Player Award, proving he could deliver when the pressure was at its highest. Most players would have been satisfied. Bob wasn't. He trained even harder. 3 years later, he did it again. The Cardinals captured another World Series title in 1967, and once again, Bob Gibson stood at the center of the celebration. By then, baseball had a new standard for pitching excellence. Hitters respected him. Teammates trusted him. Opponents feared him. Sports writers struggled to find new words to describe his dominance. Then came 1968, a season unlike anything baseball had witnessed before. Every start became a masterpiece. Complete games, shutouts, strikeouts. The numbers were almost impossible to believe. As summer arrived, fans realized they weren't simply watching another great pitcher. They were witnessing one of the greatest pitching seasons in the history of the sport. And before the year was over, Bob Gibson would force baseball itself to change forever. The 1968 season became known throughout baseball as the year of the pitcher, and no pitcher represented that era better than Bob Gibson. Every start seemed impossible to believe. Hitters couldn't solve him. Teams struggled just to score a single run. When the season ended, Bob Gibson's earned run average stood at an astonishing. It remains one of the greatest pitching seasons in Major League Baseball history. He threw 13 shutouts, completed 28 games, and struck out 268 batters. His dominance earned him both the National League Cy Young Award and the National League Most Valuable Player Award, in the same season. But Bob Gibson's impact reached far beyond trophies. Baseball executives looked at the numbers and saw a problem. Pitchers had become overwhelmingly dominant. Scoring had dropped across the league. After months of discussion, Major League Baseball made a historic decision. For the 1969 season, the height of the pitcher's mound was lowered from 15 inches to 10 inches. To give hitters a better chance. Very few athletes can say they changed the rules of their sport. Bob Gibson could. His excellence forced baseball to adapt. His legendary 1968 season became the benchmark against which every great pitcher would be measured. Yet even after changing the game itself, Bob Gibson's greatest legacy was still to come. Bob Gibson eventually stepped away from the game, but baseball never stepped away from his legacy. By the end of his remarkable career, he had won 251 games, recorded more than 3,000 strikeouts, captured 2 Cy Young Awards, earned the 1968 National League Most Valuable Player Award, and helped the St. Louis Cardinals win 2 World Series championships. In 1981, he was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame, recognizing a career that forever changed the sport. Yet, statistics tell only part of the story. Bob Gibson competed with unmatched intensity. He demanded excellence from himself on every pitch. He never backed away from pressure. he welcomed it. His fearless attitude inspired generations of pitchers who followed. Even today, coaches show young players footage of Bob Gibson's mechanics, discipline, and competitive mindset. His legendary ***1.12 ERA in 1968 remains one of the greatest single-season achievements in baseball history. And the decision to lower the pitcher's mound stands as a lasting reminder of just how dominant he truly was. Very few athletes have ever influenced the rules of their sport. Even fewer have done it simply by being too good. Bob Gibson did exactly that. From a determined young boy in Omaha to one of the most intimidating pitchers baseball has ever known, his journey proved that greatness is earned through relentless preparation, unwavering confidence, and the courage to compete without fear. Records may eventually be challenged. Champions will continue to emerge. But Bob Gibson's impact reaches beyond numbers. He didn't just dominate hitters. He changed the game itself. Bob Gibson wasn't remembered because baseball changed its rules. Baseball changed its rules because it had never seen a pitcher like Bob Gibson. Bob Gibson's story was never only about the games he won or the records he set. It was about the standard he created. He showed that greatness comes from preparation long before the spotlight arrives. Every workout, every practice session, and every pitch reflected his commitment to becoming better than he was the day before. Off the field, Gibson continued to inspire through his honesty, leadership, and dedication to the sport. He became a mentor to younger players, sharing the lessons he learned from a career built on discipline and determination. His rivalry with some of baseball's greatest hitters became legendary because every matchup felt like a battle of will. Gibson didn't just throw a baseball. He challenged opponents to prove they could handle his confidence and intensity. Generations later, his name still represents excellence. Pitchers study his delivery. Fans remember his dominance. Players respect the mindset that made him one of the greatest competitors in sports history. Bob Gibson proved that true greatness is not measured only by victories, awards, or statistics. It is measured by the mark you leave behind. And decades after his final pitch, Bob Gibson's legacy continues to remind the baseball world that passion, preparation, and courage can change a sport forever.